Hello, everyone, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. We are all about pantry preparedness, and today we are going to have a conversation that every household, especially middle income, lower income families, and our senior citizens living on fixed incomes, absolutely need to hear. Let's get started. If you have looked at headlines lately, you already know prices are rising, budgets are still tight, and families everywhere are feeling the squeeze. It's getting pretty, difficult out there. Groceries are up, utilities are up, obviously, rent is up, prescription costs are up, insurance premiums, yeah. Incomes? No, incomes are not up. And for a lot of people, especially seniors, they're not moving at all. And then there's the whole new wave. Actually, it's kind of like a tsunami of unemployed over the last 6 months. And here's the part that's not getting talked about nearly enough. Inflation doesn't hit everything at once. That's not the way it works, even though it kind of feels like it lately. It creeps through in specific categories, and those are the ones that blindside households. We saw it with eggs, we saw it with butter, we saw it with canned goods, we even saw it with pasta at one point. And if you go back through the last couple of years, every single one of those categories spiked before most families even saw it coming. You want to talk about beef? Today, I want to help you stay ahead of the next jump so that you aren't caught off guard. And so your pantry becomes even more of a buffer that protects you from rising prices, because that's your pantry's job right there. This video is all about 10 pantry items that you should be buying right now before the next price increases hit. Again, only if you eat them today should you ever stock up on them. These are not fancy things. These are not trendy things, and they aren't expensive. Isn't that a bonus? They're real building blocks of meals, which is super important today, and basically the backbone of your pantry. This video is all about 10 pantry items that you should be buying right now, literally right now. This video is about 10 pantry items that you should be buying right now before the next price increases hit. But remember always my disclaimer, don't buy them if you don't eat them today. These aren't fancy things, and they are definitely not trendy. They aren't even expensive. They're the real building blocks of, meals, things that we eat all the time, the backbone, literally, of your pantry, and the exact items that spike hardest during stressful economic seasons. And remember, I'm not here to scare anybody. I don't do the doom and the gloom and all that fun stuff. What I do is preparedness, hopefully with a calm and steady voice. And I do empowerment because I want you to know that you can do this, because literally anybody can. And hopefully I do it practically, which is always my intention. And I do it because honestly, I care about this community, and I want you protected. I want you steady, confident, and ready for whatever these rising costs throw our way, because we're not done, not by a long stretch. So grab your coffee, my friends, grab a notebook, and let's go through the 10 pantry items that you're going to want to grab before the next price jump shows up at the register. Let's take just a minute, as always, to talk about why this matters, because it does. Inflation today is different than inflation was 10 years ago. It's hitting different. It feels different. Back then, prices rose steadily, they were predictable. But today, no, they jump really fast, unevenly, and half the time without warning. Here's what the headlines are kicking our way. Middle-income households are losing purchasing power. We all knew that, right? Lower income families are spending nearly all of their income on essentials. There's no leeway, there's no give there. Seniors on fixed incomes are hit the hardest. Credit card use is way up, delinquencies are way up, and savings rates are way down. Some categories will quietly jump 10 to 20% over a few months, while others literally spike in what feels like overnight due to supply shortages or transportation issues or labor struggles or global instability. Your pantry is the one place where you have control. You can't control inflation. You can't control the market. You can't control interest rates. You can't control rent half the time. And you can control what you have on your shelves, though. That is something that you own. So let's look at that list of 10 pantry items to buy now. Okay, you want to get these on your shelves if you eat them today, if you can eat them today. Number one is rice. Rice and beans. I know. Okay, but rice continues to be one of the most affordable, versatile, shelf-stable foods. Literally, if you store it correctly, cool, dark, dry, airtight containers, it'll last 30 years. So you can get a 20-pound bag for about 20 bucks still. But global supply issues are slowly starting to push prices upwards. A 20 to 25% increase is not unrealistic in the upcoming months. So grab white rice because it has a miraculous long shelf life. Jasmine or basmati if you use it. Instant rice if your household uses quick cooks. Instant rice will last you a very long time. My understanding is quite possibly as long as just plain white rice, because that's all it is. It's just pre-cooked and then dehydrated, So it should last the same amount of time. Is it always as inexpensive as just plain rice? No, it's not. So sometimes planning is a really good thing. Rice stretches meals, absolutely stretches it, fills bellies, and turns small proteins literally into full dinners. Number two is pasta. We've seen this cycle up and down multiple times. Crop shortages, wheat price spikes, pasta shortage. Pasta price spike. That's the way it goes. So pasta is cheap right now, though. You can still get pasta really cheap. I'm not talking about your fancy pasta. I'm talking about bare basics. Oh my God, it has flour in it. Let's go pasta. Okay. But historically, one of the first items to increase during economic stress, pasta. So stock up on your spaghetti, your penne, your egg noodles, your macaroni. Egg noodles probably won't last as long as, other pastas, but they're still going to last you a really long time. So don't be afraid to get them. Just also don't be afraid to use them. Number three is canned tomatoes. Hands down, the most versatile canned vegetable on the planet. These are the foundation for literally hundreds of meals, chili, casserole, sauces. But tomato crops have been struggling in multiple regions the last few years. Canned tomatoes always jump when crops are low. You want diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, spaghetti sauce. And honestly, you could probably skip the spaghetti sauce with just paste, because then you can season the paste and dilute it as much as you want, and nothing goes to waste. Grab them while they're still cheap. Stock up on them. They last quite a few years on the shelf. Expiration dates mean nothing. They're best by dates. Number four is beans. For those of you who use beans, I don't care if it's dry beans. I don't care if it's canned beans. I don't care if it's dry beans that you can, which is the most affordable way to make it happen. These are literally the most affordable, longest lasting plant protein out there. They are good for you. They're healthy. Fiber is a beautiful thing. It makes you full, and you can flavor them to your heart's desire. I mean, beans or rice, rice and beans, beans or rice. Add in a can of diced tomatoes, and you have a fantastic meal with just a few little simple spices added. If you stock those, you're likely to never be hungry. Number five is oats. Oats have a super long shelf life. So you can make them fast for breakfast. You can stretch them into baked goods. But grain markets are sensitive. They have always been sensitive, and oat shortages in Canada have historically driven up prices in the US because they are interconnected. I don't know. I'm going to assume that is still going to be the fact moving forward. A $2.49 canister could easily become $3.99. Super easy to make happen. Number six, sugar and flour. These are the backbones of your pantry. You can make anything. Well, you can't make a steak out of them, but you can make anything out of them, okay? These two always spike during economic instability. Flat out always. We've seen shipping disruptions, low crop yields, and price hikes on baking goods, baking products. So grab 5 to 10 pounds of flour, 4 to 8 pounds of sugar, some baking powder, some yeast. These are always great to have in your pantry because you can make a multitude of things with them. When these go up, they go up sharply. Number 7 is canned vegetables. Canned vegetables were one of the first things wiped out during 2020. And again, during multiple supply disruptions since then. Yes, toilet paper beat them, which made the headlines. Canned vegetables didn't make the headlines as much, but it happened. Green beans, corn, peas, carrots, all inexpensive right now. And there's a lot of places I'm hearing that have them on sale for like 50 cents a can. Epic, grab them, okay? But they're not guaranteed to stay that way. That's the caveat. Canned vegetables are some of the best long-term insurance that you can buy because you need vegetables. They're good for you and stuff. Number 8 is shelf-stable, evaporated, powder, or, UHT, milk, because it's milk. I'm not a milk drinker. Phil is a milk drinker. I do, however, use milk in my cooking and in my baking. And so in order to make sure that I have what I need, I did it the other day. I had an order for a bunch of muffins, and I looked at the milk situation. I'm like, I am not going to the store. No, I'm tired. This was a last minute order. And so I made up some milk out of the milk powder in the pantry because that's why it's there, don't you know? Milk prices constantly move, constantly move. Families with kids or seniors with nutritional needs really feel it a lot. Evaporated milk, powdered milk, or, the shelf stable milk cartons are immune to refrigeration costs and last literally 4 years. Then we've got number 9, oils and fats. This is a big one, and we're feeling it, definitely feeling it. We've been feeling it for over a year. Oil prices spike harder and faster than almost any other pantry item. In the last few years, we have seen oil prices double, triple, or vanish entirely from shelves in some regions. So you want to grab the oil that you use. I predominantly use olive oil, and I know that it has gone up a lot because there is some kind of issue with the olive trees and grease. And, I don't even remember exactly what the cause was, but that's impacting the oil. So vegetable oil, canola oil, shortening, ghee if you use it, butter for freezing. Grab them, stock them up. If you see a butter sale right now between now and the end of the year, oh my gosh, get some extra and put them in your freezer. As long as you don't put anything like peppers or onions or garlic right next to them, it's fine. If you put that stuff right next to them, it'll kind of take over some of the flavor. But, I like flavored butters. This, in my opinion, is one of the most important items to get now. Okay, number 10. Number 10 is soups and ready-made pantry meals. These are so handy and reasonably economical, and you can stretch them with things like the rice, right? So in a tight month, these are literally lifesavers. These are the difference between do I eat or do I have electricity? Let's see. For seniors, these are essential. For busy families, these prevent takeout. That's going to save your budget a lot of money right there. These items jump quickly when transportation costs increase, and there's a lot going on with the trucking community right now. So you want to keep an eye on those, and you want to keep an eye on what's going on sale around you right now. And when they get down to a price, grab a few extras and put them up on the shelf. Canned soups, canned chili, stews, ravioli, canned pasta meals. I'm not a big fan of SpaghettiOs. Are you? But ravioli, I have a thing for. I really do. These meals become your safety net. They absolutely do. These are the I can make it through the end of the month additions to the pantry. Now, people keep asking, okay, Lisa, what if I can't afford to stock all 10 items right now? I didn't tell you to stock them all right now, but to put them on your list, use that $5 to $10 and get them as soon as you can as prices move, the way that you need them to move. Choose one category a week. Buy 2 to 5 items max. Don't buy 20, buy 2 to 5. Rotate through this list every 10 weeks. It's a great way to make it happen and to keep stocking up. It also keeps you super aware of the prices. Now, am I telling you to go buy 5 cans of ravioli, every few weeks? No, I am not, especially if you don't eat it. If you don't eat it, don't even buy 1 can. But if it is stuff that you eat on a regular, then yes, put it on your list. Make it a point to get 2 to 5 every single grocery shopping trip. The great part about this is that if you do this, if you follow this strategy, you're building steadily and safely without panic. That's the key right there. You don't want to be part of the chaos circus, Your pantry expands and your budget doesn't break. That's the goal here. There's a hidden benefit, and I like those. When you build a pantry with intention, which is what you should be doing, okay? Build a pantry with intention. You're not just storing food, you're locking in today's prices. What you buy today will not be as inexpensive tomorrow. And the day after tomorrow, it's going to be more expensive than it is the day after, today. So you are always eating at the cheaper price. If you do this, you are always eating at the cheaper price. I'm still eating 99 cents a pound, boneless, skinless chicken breast because I canned it. Ugly chicken for the win. This is how people survive inflation cycles because it does. It's cyclical. Not everything that goes up stays up, even though that seems to be the trend. But eventually, like the eggs, eventually it'll come back down again, hopefully. But you want something put up in case just for a little while. These economic times are hard, no question about it, none at all. But you are not powerless. And so you really need to just to sit down with it for a little bit and realize that you are not a victim. You are not powerless. We have ways to navigate this. Your pantry is the one place where you control the prices. Once you own it, you own it. Okay. The prices don't fluctuate after that. You get to decide the buffer that your family has, that your household has, that you have against the inflation. And you get to build security from the inside out, which is the best way to build it. Tell me in the comments, which of the 10 items are you stocking up first this week? And remember, friends, a stock pantry is the best insurance money can buy. If you want to see more videos on different ways to stock your pantry, check this playlist right here. And until next time, everybody, be safe. Keep stacking it to the rafters, my friends.